Continue from that part. Halls, right? One minute, I'll share now. Is it share now? Now let's finish that toolbox, sketch-based toolbox, and then stop for the session. Okay. We have set up to this thing, right? Uh, then we have something. Yes. Then we then we have rib tool. Okay. In rib, what we do is it's just similar to our sweep in SolidWorks. We have to draw a path and a cross section. Here I am drawing a path like this. Okay. And for the time being, I am just drawing in the cross section, just drawing cross section in this plane, in which this plane perpendicular to this edge. Okay, this line. So that if we have to create a new plane, we can do that. As we have it studied that option, we are not going to that tool. I'm just creating a tool, a cross section here. Okay. It is in this toolbox, reference elements toolbox, we will be creating new planes. And then selecting this plane, I'm going to sketch and draw two lines like this. One, two. Okay. Give some dimensions. Exits. Under rib, there is an option. There is. It will be asking for profile and angle. Profile is our sorry. Profile and center curve. Profile is our these two lines, and center curve here it is this line. You see, it will be sweeping along that. This is called a rib. Understood. In many ways, we can use it according to our figure. I think one of the image which you sent me uh, last day was that rib has to be used to that. Okay, I think I don't remember exactly whether it's a tool for something like this and but there is one more thing. We have to create new plane. I will show you just one method of creating a plane, not that tool in detail, because there are a lot of sub options in that. uh, One tool, for example, I want to create a plane which is parallel to this and touching on this point. For that, go to this reference plane. Unlike our SolidWorks, there are some sub options here. Drop it down and look for the perfect option. There is two options. Either normal to curve can be used, or parallel through point can be used. If I am using parallel through point as the reference, I am selecting this plane, and as the point, I am selecting this one. You see, parallel through this reference plane, another point and another plane is created at this point. Or normal to curve can be used. Drop down normal to curve. As the curve this one, as the point this one. Normal to that curve on this point, a plane is created. Understood? There are such likewise there are different options. Read the option offset from plane as obviously which will be the most common one we will be using. If I'm setting this plane, offset value can be given here. If I want to reverse, I can reverse. Okay. Okay. And I'm drawing a cross section here. In this case, I'm not going for a closed section. I'm just not going for. I mean, I'm just only single cross section is there. I mean, there is no hole. That what I mean. I'm giving a constant exit. Make sure that the diameter of this thing is in such a way that it is sweepable. Okay. Rib profile as this one, center curve as this one. Preview. Okay. Understood. Okay. Similarly, for cutting, the cutting operation for that one is slot. Okay. Hello. Okay. Okay. Then we have, let this tool be there, we will say this one at last. Then we have multi-section solid and removed multi-section solid. In multi-section solid, what we do is we will be giving different cross-section, just similar to our loft. We will be giving different cross-sections, and that cross-sections will be connected to create a new solid. I will show you that. I'm going for a new part. And now we know how to create different planes. Select this plane, under reference elements, offset Z. Okay. If you want, I will again say this tool. Okay, this plane creation. I think it is understood as yes. Okay. Not all of the option under plane creation. There are two more options are there. Point and line is there. I will say we will say about that. Okay. Okay. Here there are some conditions which has to be followed while creating the loft, and it is that the center points of these things has to, I mean, uh, not center points. The number of vertices of these planes has to match. If it is not matching, we have to use some other option. Double clicking on that plane will allow us to edit the dimension. Okay, yeah. And on this sketch, I'm again drawing another plane exits. Yes, it is different cross sections. So by for connecting this different cross section, I can use multi-section solid. And under multi-section of solid, there are so many options: guide curves, spline, coupling, and all. But it is here where we have to mention our curves. First curve as this one, and second curve this one. Connecting these two, we will get a spline. You see, also this closing point, there is one closing point one and closing point two. Closing point one will be always connected to closing point two, and the next point in this section will be following the direction of this arrow. There's a small arrow here. I think you can see under this closing point, there's a small arrow. Yes. Similar to that, here also there is one. There will be an arrow. Depending upon that arrow direction, it will decide the next point. That is, the next point will be closing point two. Closing point of the next closing point of this section one will be here, and the closing point of this section two will be here. Okay. Preview. You see, this is the way we give loft to. Understood? Sorry, loft, which we call by the name multi-section solid. Yes. And for removing multi-section solid, we have the next option, removed multi-section solid. Okay. In this case, it is okay. The number of vertices were very much similar and all. There was no problem. But consider a case. I'm just hiding this one. Consider a case when where the cross number of section was not same. There was some circular profile somewhere. It has some circular profile around here like this, and multi-section, first profile, second profile. You see, while connecting these two also, while connecting these two, we will be having some option. It is asking to current coupling mode cannot be applied. Change the coupling mode to ratio. It is suggesting something. There is something called the coupling mode here. That is by default tangency and curvature. Tangency then curvature. Change that to ratio and it will solve the problem. Understood? But it will be having some extra edges like this, and that will be always a problem if we are using only coupling modes. Okay. Okay. There is one more option called two more options are there: tangency, then curvature and vertices. You see, consider another case when there it was not a circle, instead it was a hexagon or something like that, or something with a five edge. Okay. In this case also, the coupling mode will be like this. If I am by with the default option, if I am going for clicking here and going for first option and second option, you see, even even the closing points are not aligned properly. The closing point one is here, closing point two is here. When I give preview, surely give an error message. Uh, One of the reason is that it is tangency, then curvature. It is asking for ratio, right? I change it to ratio and giving preview. Still, you see, it got connected somehow, but the closing point one from here is gone to closing point two, and the arrow direction is in this way. So this is closing point two of the section two, and this will be closing point two of the section one. So it's connecting from here to here. But we don't require in this way. If we need to connect from here to here, just right click on this, click on replace, click on this vertex point. You see, the closing point is replaced, and also make sure that the arrow is in the right direction. If it is like this, once more again there will be some problem. From here to here, that one connection will go. From here to here, the other connection will go. But we have to make it in the right order. The arrow has to be in the right order and give a preview. You see, somewhat problem is solved. Uh, it is connected from here to here, and the other things are software program controlled. The software itself is controlling that option how it has to be connected. Okay, and if I'm changing to an option called vertices, I will have an option to connect the coupling points. Like you see, I'm clicking here and then I'm selecting this point and this point. Always it has to be from 1 to 2, okay, not from 2 to 1, 1 to 2. Coupling point 1, 2. You see, that 2 points is getting connected. I'm just removing these couplings again and starting from the first, from coupling point 1 to 2. Okay, then again clicking here from coupling points. This is the next point, right? From here to here. Okay, then I am also using this as another point from here to here. So by using the vertices option, we can control to some extent if it has vertices. Earlier we used with the circle, right? For circle there is no vertices, so there is no point in using this option. Understood. That's why, and in that case, uh, coupling ratio was the better option. It will automatically detect something. There is also some another thing which we are going to study. You see, we have given the points from where to where it has to be connected, and you see, now we have a little more control over this thing. Okay, this is an option called vertices. Okay, again I am going back to that circle case, or this vertices will also do, but for convenience I'm going to circle case. Just right click hide. It will bring back that option, and you see the dimensions of these things were not mentioned, so I'm just double clicking it and mentioning the dimensions because in the coming options we need that. Okay, that's it. 150. 100 exits zone fit. There's view toolbox. View. Okay, fit all in. It will come back. This is 75. Okay, I have just made this dimension so that now I know. Now using while using ratio, it was connecting in some way, but not in a proper way. By using guide curve, we can control the outer edge of this profile. I think we have yes, we have learned about guide curve in SolidWorks. Uh, Similar way, we have to create guide curves by manually. We have to draw some sketches. Okay, for that only, I created some dimensions so that proper dimensioning can be given, and it is made in such a way that the points of the guide curves are exactly touching the profiles. You see, just giving coincident, it won't work because coincident means it can go like this, but I have to touch it here. For that, just like SolidWorks, we don't have an option called peers. We have to depend on our dimensioning features. 75, it will touch here, and this thing for here to here, it will be 75 by 3. 37.5 will be this one. 37.5. And also this height. For that, I'm using coincidence with the display. Okay. One sketch, I'm giving exit, and on the same plane, I'm using another sketch using spline or whatever I require. Draw the guide curve according to our need. Okay, with the dimension and with the relationships, give the constraints. Under multi-section, first profile, second profile, and guide curve one, two. It will be following this guide curves. You see, we just said about coupling. Then one option called the guide curve is there. Draw the number of guide curves which we need. Okay, still we have to use the coupling mode and change it to ratio. Okay, so it will follow the ratio and the guide curve. We get a little more smoother profile, solid. I mean. Okay. Then there is one option called under multi-section solid itself. There is one option called um, spline, not spine, which is similar to our center line. You remember our center line parameter in SolidWorks. The same thing. Here we are not mentioning the guide curves or something. Instead, we are mentioning the center lines uh, of two things. Okay. Now I have to create a new plane which is parallel to this one. Now we know the option under plane, under offset from plane, as the reference plane this one, and as not offset from plane, parallel through points. Parallel through points. and the point is this one. Fine. Sketch, select this plane, give sketch, and give the option. Let it be two circles itself, not making so complicated. One circle, exit on this profile, sketch another circle, smaller or bigger circle. Make these two coincident, okay? Exit. Now go to multi-section solids. Here we have an option called spine. As the spine, I am referencing to this line, and as the profile, this one and this one. Preview. You see, it's following that as the center line, like a center line. So these are some of the options under guide under multi-section, and so same options are available here under removed multi-section also. Yes, cutting the planes. Okay. Mr. Rup, I am stopping for now. Please